Good day, everyone. In this session, I'm going to teach you about quadratic equation. There are various ways which you can use to solve quadratic equation, out of which could be completing the square method, factorization method, if at all the equation you've been given is factorizable, and also by use of a quadratic formula. But our main focus in this session will be based on using a quadratic formula in order to solve a quadratic equation, and I'm going to show you a trick way in which you can use a calculator in order to find the solutions of a quadratic equation. Okay, let's get started. I'll use a question which was asked in 2023 paper 2, which was solve the equation three x squared plus 13x minus 7 is equal to 0. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'll write first the formula. So I'm going to say x is equal to negative b, positive or negative, square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That is the quadratic formula. If you know it, well and good. But even if you don't know it, there's no need to master it. This formula will be there on the overleaf page of the question paper. So let's do the identification. We're going to identify what A is, what B is, and what C is. So A is just the coefficient of the square of x. By coefficient, I mean the number in front of x squared. So that is 3. Then our B will be the coefficient of just x. The coefficient of x, that is 13. Then our C will be a constant. The constant in this quadratic equation is negative 7. So with the identification, now let's do the substitution. So we're going to substitute the values in the equation. So we're going to say x is equal to negative, where there is b is 13, so we're going to substitute 13. Then we'll say positive or negative square root b squared, that is 13 squared, minus 4, where there is a, we'll substitute 3, where there is c, we'll substitute negative 7. Then this entire equation is over to a. Our a is 3. So we've done the substitution. Let's now do our algebra. So we're going to say x is equal to negative times positive 13. That will give us negative 13. Then plus or minus square root 13 squared. We'll punch that on our calculator. So that is 169. Then we'll work out what is negative 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by negative 7. So it is giving positive 84. Then this is over 6. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to say x is equal to negative 13 plus or minus. We'll find what is 169 plus 84. So that is giving 253. then over 6. At this stage now, we're going to split. We know that the result from the square root can either be positive or negative. No wonder we're saying positive or negative here. So it will be x is equal to negative 13. In our first case, we're going to take positive square root of 253 over 6. Then in our second case, we're going to say or x is equal to negative 13. This time around, we're going to take the negative value of square root of 253, then over 6. Let's do the left hand side first. So I'm going to say negative 13 plus, we'll find the square root of 253. That is 15.90597372. It is over 6. Let's find the value of negative 13 plus 15.90597372. So that is giving us 2.90597371 over 6. So x will be equal to, we'll divide this value by 6. So the answer is giving 0.484328.953. Then let's work out on the left hand side. So I'm going to say x is equal to negative 13 minus the square root of 253. We already found it to be 15.90597372. This was over 6. Okay, let's work out this. We're going to say x is equal to negative 13 minus 15.90597273. So it is giving neg 28.90597372. This is over 6. Then we find the value of x. So we'll just divide by 6. This is giving negative 4.817662287. Remember, the question was giving the answer correct to 2 decimal places. So they simply mean the numbers after the decimal point must only be 2. So we're going to say the first solution will be 0.4. We'll look at the preceding number after 8. It is 4. 4 is less than 5. Since it is less than 5, the number will just remain as 0.48, and that will be the first solution. Then to find the next solution, this is a quadratic, so it should give us 2 solutions. We're going to consider this value. We're going to say negative 4.8. We'll look at the preceding number after 1, that is 7. It is greater than 5. So it will drop a 1 there, and it will be negative 4.82. So our solutions, we have this is x is equal to 0.48 or x is equal to negative 4.82. Now let me show you a trick way in which you can use a calculator in order to solve this quadratic equation. So this is my calculator. So the first thing I'm going to do is to reset this calculator. So I'll place on the shift, then on the mod, and I'll place on 3, then equal sign. So I've reset my calculator. Then I'm going to write this. I'm going to first set this calculator in a quadratic mode. So to do that, I'll place on the mod button. I'll place on 3. You can see there's an arrow. We have natural log, logarithms, and exponentials. There's an arrow. So I'll follow this arrow. Then I'll place on 3 to set into a quadratic mode. Then I'll write this equation in terms of signs. What I'm going to do, I'll start with C. I'll place on alpha, then C. Then I'll say comma. Then I'll write this equation in terms of C. Wherever there's x, I'll substitute C. So it was 3x squared plus 13x minus 7 is equal to 0. So I'll say 3. Where there's x, I'll place C square. I've just substituted. Then plus where there's 13x, I'll say 13c. Then I'll say minus 7. The next thing I'm going to do here, I'll place on toggle positive or negative 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Quad means 4. No wonder I'm ending on 4. Then this equation is showing n is equal to, it is equal to 0. So I'll place on 0. Then I'll find the solutions by placing on the shift button. After I do that, I'll place on 2. There's an arrow showing in the 4 directions. I'll place on the replay button. 1, 2, 3. So the first solution will be given by 1. So I'll place on 1. Then I'll say equals. So this was the first solution. We found 0.484328953. That is the solution we got. Okay, this was our first solution. Then to find the next solution, I'll place on 0 again. Then I'll place on shift. Then I'll place on 2. I'll follow the same procedure. I'll place on this arrow 3 times. So the second solution is given by 2. So I'll place on 2. And this equation was equal to 0. So I'll place on an equal sign. So the second solution is x is equal to negative 4.817662287. And that was the next solution we got. So basically, this is how you can use a calculator in order to solve a quadratic equation. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.